do great things, do extraordinary things, think outside the box. It's not just about basketball. Have a mentality where it's like, I'm going to wake up today and I'm not going to worry about what happened yesterday. Today's a new day. I'm going to think of what I can do today that's going to make my future set.
Time out. Let me ask you this. What if the gap between where you are today and where you want to be isn't talent? It's how you're training when no one's watching. That's what this studio podcast is all about. We don't chase motivation. We don't hype potential. We build identity through habits, standards, and systems. This is where student athletes, parents, coaches, and leaders come to sharpen how they think, prepare, and perform. I'm Coach Randy, and this is the Built Different Studio Podcast. Isn't it interesting how the athletes who get recruited the most aren't always the most talented? They're the most intentional. What's up, family? Coach Randy here. Welcome to the Built Different Studio Podcast, where we don't just talk about success, we train it. Mindset, systems, habits. This is where champions in sports, school, and life are made. Let's lock in and let's build. Family, today we got someone special in the studio. A young athlete who's already understanding something most students don't figure out until it's too late. That identity matters just as much as ability. David Gorodezki is a sophomore at Crespi Carmelite High School. Straight A student, high-level competitor, a swimmer, and someone playing under a championship-level varsity program led by former NBA champion Derek Fisher. What I respect most about David, he's not waiting for the future to define him. He's building it now. So today, we're talking mindset, we're talking discipline, we're talking what it really means to build your brand as a student athlete before the spotlight arrives. Family, help me welcome David. Welcome. David, welcome to the show. I'm excited to have you here. And before we dive in, I want to start with you. Not your stats, not the highlight reel. You. For everyone listening, tell us who you are, your roots, and the moments that built you. Because every champion has a beginning, and I want to hear yours.
Well, I want to start by saying, Coach Randy, thank you so much for having me on this podcast. You know, it really means a lot to me. What you guys are doing here is truly great. I want to start by saying that.
Sure.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let me tell you about me a little bit.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Mother born in Albania, dad from Israel. A lot of interesting backgrounds.
Okay.
And a lot of interesting in me. To start, I've been playing basketball since, I was 5 years old, but I always knew that, basketball's great and I can have all the talent in the world, right?
Okay.
And there's so many players that are talented, that have so much potential. And what makes them different? I've always thinking, what makes them different? So my mom was a lawyer. Mom's a lawyer. Dad does real estate. And I was always thinking, what am I going to do when I'm older with basketball? What can I make my brand, in a sense, right?
Okay.
And so I was always thinking, basketball's great. Basketball's amazing. Excellent. But law, being a lawyer, you know what I mean? I've always been interested in that. So I've interned at my mom's firm because she has a firm.
Oh, really?
You know what
Good.
I mean?
So you already have that experience.
I have that experience working under my mom, doing all kinds of stuff like that.
Okay.
And I love helping out. I love giving back to the community. I love training. For example, there's kids in Beverly Hills. I train a lot of kids in Beverly Hills. I have a group session where I train a lot of kids, just giving back to my community.
Oh, wow.
So,
amazing. So you teach them the skills that you're learning from Derek Fisher and the program, and you're kind of building that or sharing your knowledge with the younger generation.
Exactly.
That's amazing. What mindset helps you stay locked in every day when most students your age are still trying to figure themselves out? So David, you're already balancing high-level academics and basketball as a sophomore. Let me ask you that. What mindset helps you stay locked in every day when most students your age are still trying to figure themselves out?
It's a great question, Coach. Really a great question. For me, I've always had this gritty mindset, in a sense, to have grit.
Yeah.
Be able to persevere.
Okay.
Be able to push the limits, push through the wall. Ever since I was 5 years old, my dad, I really have to give credit to my dad and mom.
Okay.
Since Since I was 5 years old, Dad would wake me up 6:30 in the morning before school.
Wow.
We would run around the block, run miles. That gritty mentality, that mindset, it always pushed me to do more. And I feel like that's what a lot of kids are in our generation. They don't have that yet. Everyone's, you know what I mean? They're worried about academic trying to balance out, which is great, but having the grit to do it all and go for it all and be able to try new things and experience stuff. I feel like that's where it's at.
Oh, wow.
So for me, having the gritty mindset.
No, that's important. There's a lot of psychological benefits of having grit. And, you defined it, being able to start early, do things, and not stop, not quit, right? Understanding what grit actually means. So I love how you talk about grit as a daily choice, because that's where real identity starts. And if grit builds the foundation, the next question is, how do you start standing out? If you did one thing right now to separate yourself from thousands of other talented students, athletes, what would it be? And when did you realize being great on paper isn't enough anymore?
It's also a great question, Coach Randy. Also a really, really good question. Overachieving.
Okay.
I feel like this is very, very important. Overachieving, wanting to do it all. Being able to try new things. You know what I mean? Being on paper, you see now that everyone's doing extracurriculars.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a 4.0 GPA. What's going to make you different? Why do you stand out? So, for me, I think overachieving, in a sense, is what's gonna make you stand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear that. That's an amazing statement there. That awareness right there, that's what starts opening doors. Trying new things that you mentioned and being an overachiever. And once you realize visibility matters, it changes how you approach growth. So you've got a vision beyond basketball. Law school, you talked about leadership, maybe running or representing teams someday, or sports athletes. How does thinking long-term change the way you train, study, and show up today?
I think long-term is everything, because that's a mentality in a sense.
Okay.
Thinking long-term, you gotta understand, you gotta put this in one's shoes. You can't think of just today. This is what I've learned from my trainings and from, playing in Albania for a national team, and just all the great experiences that I've had. Worrying about today is limited, but you gotta worry about next life, because God forbid, athletes, so much stuff happens. Knees get blown, ankles, all kinds of stuff happen. You gotta think about long-term. So when you're at practice, this is how I think of it. When I'm at practice or when I'm at a game, I'm gonna make the most out of what's going on today, because I don't know what's going on tomorrow.
Love that.
So you got to keep that in mind,
I love that. Now that's another, I call it maturity acknowledgement, being present, right? Being present, taking day by day, being present. And isn't it interesting how big goals force better habits, right? And speaking of habits, let's talk about what actually separates athletes who keep progressing. Actually, can you spend a little bit of time talking about your experience playing on the national team in Albania, you mentioned? Talk about that experience. Share with the listeners, our audience members, what was that all about?
So that was honestly one of the greatest experiences of my life. Mother born in Albania. So getting an opportunity to go to my homeland, my home country, and not only playing for the team, but being the captain of the national team, being the captain of my country.
Okay.
It doesn't get better than that. So in the summer, you go over there, thousands of kids are there. Thousands, trying to represent the country. Everyone's dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
And they need to put their country. Doesn't matter what level, doesn't matter what country. It's a dream for every athlete.
Sure.
So going to that environment with the coaches, all that stuff, all the stuff sinking in, it is the greatest experience I've had in my life. From the trainings, from the way they handle themselves, from the way we act together, the brotherhood there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The brotherhood, and how everyone has each other's backs, and the trainings, wow, the training, all that stuff to bring together, and going to another city, experiencing a city. I got to go to a city. It's called Shkodra. It's a beautiful city in Albania. A lot of very successful people have came from that city. Dua Lipa actually is Albanian. She was born in.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Okay. That's something new I learned today. Okay.
Yep. So tournament took place in Shkodra.
How many games? What was like the train? I mean, are you waking up 6 a.m.? Did your parents go with you, or were you by yourself?
Nope. So this is the most beautiful part. I flew all on my own. I went on this experience on my own. I went through it. I believed in it. My grandparents live in Albania currently, so I got to stay with them for a little bit. But I was on my own, honestly, and it was a beautiful experience playing against some of the, some amazing countries like Armenia, Moldova, Luxembourg, which is the richest country by GDP per capita.
Okay.
So they had some really good players, some like really top players at Luxembourg. And just that experience, staying in a hotel with teammates, they all spoke a different language. So I speak French, English, and Hebrew.
Wow,
But
3 languages. Okay, 4 languages. French, no, 3.
Albanian too. I understand Albanian.
Okay, yeah.
I understand Albanian pretty well too. And that experience of everyone speaking in a different language and playing basketball together, it's mesmerizing. You're like, wow, we're all speaking the same language. The other team doesn't understand what's going on. It's changing. And it was a great experience.
No, that's amazing.
I loved it.
Can you elaborate a little bit in terms of, you mentioned you were a captain. Were you chosen by the coaches to be a captain, or was it the players? How did you stand out? I mean, how did they pick you? What was that process like?
So that's actually very interesting. I'll explain it to you. So first day of practice, first day of the selection. So because I came as an American in a sense, because I wasn't raised in Albania, I came as an American. I got to kind of skip through like the thousands of player stages, when everyone was getting together to train and there was different stuff. I came and I was in the top 25. So the top 25 players for the country,
Okay.
So right when I came, I introduced myself to the guys. I showed love. I showed support. I told the guys, we're in this together. Just give it everything you can. And I didn't speak the language, but they spoke English, so they understood.
Oh, wow.
And the coach, they saw that. And as they saw in the hotel, we had a little argument in the hotel. And everyone was, everyone was thinking about one thing. Everyone wanted to wear red we were deciding on our jerseys. Do we want to be red? Do we want to be red, or do we want to be white? And I said, guys, ultimately, we can't argue about the jerseys. Let's do a team vote. Let's see who wants what, and we're not going to do this individually. So we did a team vote. I got the guys together. We did a team vote between red and white, and the coaches saw that and they loved that. I was able to separate the animosity, and it was.
Oh, man, that's an amazing story. I mean, right there, you're talking leadership, right? And leadership. How old are you? 15, 16? 16 years old. Showing that leadership, being able to take that initiative, solve problems, have critical thinking, and come out with a resolution that benefits everyone. Let me ask you another question in terms of, your academics in the classroom. I know you're getting straight A's. You're doing very well on the court. When I first saw you play last year, it was Alamany against your school, Crespi, Alamany against Crespi, and I saw that dog in you. I was like, man, we're going to have a long night tonight if we can't handle David. But what's that one daily habit or system you've built that keeps you consistent when motivation isn't there?
Everyone, in my opinion, this is my opinion, everyone has a habit.
Yes.
Everyone has something that they love to do. They have a consistent thing, it's a consistent manner that everyone loves to do.
Yes.
For me, I think of it as a system. This is, for me, a system of what am I going to do to make me different? What am I going to do to stand out? What's going to get me in the perfect shape for basketball or whatever it is in life? What am I going to do that's going to be different? Yep. Right? So for me, every day, every single day, not one day I miss. Doesn't matter if I'm sick. Doesn't matter if I'm not feeling good. Doesn't matter. 5:30 in the morning, wake up.
Wow.
Jump rope for 30 minutes straight.
Every day at 5:30.
Every single day.
Man, I'm gonna start doing that, David, and I'm gonna wake up at 5:30. And actually, you make a good point. Go ahead, continue. Now I want to share another point with you. Go ahead.
Yep. So every day, 5:30 in the morning, getting there, doing 30 minutes of jump rope, no matter what. Doesn't matter what it is. Jogging to the gym, jogging to a gym, open park that opens at 6:30 a.m. right next to Roxbury Park. Going over there and just getting my shots up. Shots right before school, come back home, shower, change, get on the bus to school. Every single morning.
Wow. How many years have you been doing that?
It's been now 2 years
straight.
2 years since I made the switch. I had to flip a switch. I went right when I turned 13 years old. Okay, 13 and a half, right at my bar mitzvah. Right when I had a bar mitzvah. So it's basically for us Jewish people, when we have our bar mitzvah, it's when we're becoming a man, in a sense. We're a man. You know what I mean? Right when I became the man, in a sense, that's when I found out, for me, I need to make a decision. Am I going to go for this? Do I really love it? And this system that I created about doing it every day, it's not for just basketball. It's outside of it. It's being committed, having the dedication.
You're right.
So that's what it is, and that's why I had that system, created that system.
You don't know this yet, or you maybe do know it, but the most highly successful people, entrepreneurs, businessmen, They do exactly what you do. Wake up early, right? Start the day early, get started. But what you shared, that's powerful because consistency is what coaches and colleges really see over time, right? Talent doesn't fail, systems do. I mean, you have a system. You have your habits in place, habits of success. So let's go deeper into pressure because every athlete eventually hits that moment. If you could speak directly to the younger athletes, I know you train a bunch of other younger kids. If you could speak directly to younger athletes who want to play at the next level, what standard or mindset would you tell them to adopt right now so they become built different?
Built different is really an interesting production that you guys are doing here. So, what I like to tell my athletes, even the little kids that I'm training, what I like to think of for myself, it's not even about basketball.
Okay.
Have the mentality to want to be great.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Do great things, do extraordinary things, think outside the box. It's not just about basketball. Have a mentality where it's like, I'm going to wake up today and I'm not going to worry about what happened yesterday. Today's a new day. I'm going to think of what I can do today that's going to make my future set, in a sense. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to think what's going on today to have a future, a plan set out, in a sense. I'm not worried about tomorrow. I mean, I'm not worried about yesterday. What happened yesterday happened yesterday. Today's a new day, and I'm thinking of my own ideas to have tomorrow covered.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I love that. And we're actually going to make some t-shirts, David. Do great things. Be great. We're going to put that on some t-shirts and sell that online to all of our listeners.
Thanks.
All right, cool. David, this has been an amazing episode. I want to ask you, I want to give the floor to you in terms of, is there anything you would like to share? Anything that we didn't cover, whether it's basketball, classroom, things that you're doing outside of school. Is there anything that you want to share with our listeners that's related to you or something we haven't covered yet? Anything you want to share, feel free to share.
One lesson that I've had, and that I think that's very important for everyone to know. Parents sometimes aren't in the picture. It can always be difficult, you know what I mean? There's so many things going on in the world, but one thing that I think that everyone needs to have in order to be successful is a mentor. That can be anyone. A mentor is so important. Someone that you look up to. He has to be your hero, he or she. And you need to have a hero. It doesn't even have to be a person. It has to be a hero to you. That's, for me, one thing that I would like to share with the audience here. Having a hero is so crucial and so detrimental in every student's life, I feel.
Who has been your mentor, your hero so far?
I've had a couple heroes throughout my stages on. I've really had a couple heroes, but one person that's really been a hero to me in life. It's not even about basketball, in life. I look at him every day and I'm thinking, obviously my family, my parents are always good. But I've had this coach, his name's Coach Verdi.
Okay.
Coach Verdi. He has been wanting the best for me and helping me out for so many years, and he's helped me. Like I would have whenever I have a difficult problem, or I have, you know what I mean? I've had a hard day. I'm like, Coach, I had a hard day today, man. It was really difficult. Crespi's difficult. Academics, I have these 3 tests I need to study for. I still want to balance basketball, all this stuff. I would talk to him, and he would just show me out. He said, David, we're going to get through this. We're going to have a plan. We're going to set it up. So having a mentor or hero, that's everything, man. That's really everything.
Man, that's powerful. David, I appreciate you sharing your mindset, your goals, and your vision today. This is exactly what Built Different looks like. Family. That was a real one. This wasn't just about basketball. This was about identity, about building habits early, about understanding that opportunity doesn't just show up. It responds to preparation. If you're an athlete listening, remember this. Your future is being shaped by what you do daily, what you do at 5:30 a.m., not someday. If you're a parent, the small habits today become big opportunities tomorrow. And if you're a coach, keep helping young athletes see beyond the game. Continue to be mentors. Continue to be heroes. David, appreciate you for showing what intentional growth looks like at a young age, 16 years old. Family, if this episode gave you something, share it with a teammate, a parent, or coach. I'm Coach Randy, and this is the Built Different Studio Podcast, where we break down the mindset, systems, and habits that create champions in school, sport, and life. Handle today with intention. That's how champions are built. Champions go win the day. Here's the reality. Talent isn't enough anymore. Grades alone aren't enough. Highlights alone aren't enough. In order to accomplish recruiting visibility, admissions leverage, and real differentiation, you need exactly mindset training, daily execution systems, intentional branding, and strategic college planning. Everything that David has talked about, that's what we build. If today's conversation made you think differently about your student-athlete journey, imagine what happens when you put real systems behind it. If you want to be featured on the Built Different Studio podcast, apply now. Available on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Visit www.athleticconnect.com and fill out the application. Handle today with intention. That's how champions are built. Fight on. Thank you, David. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
I really appreciate it, Coach. Thank you so much for having me. Truly.
All right. Remember this, family. Talent might open the door, but your mindset, your habits, and your discipline decide how far you go. So keep showing up, keep building, and keep choosing the harder road, because that's the one that makes you built different. I'm Coach Randy, and this is the Built Different Studio Podcast.